You guys, hi! Welcome to another day of vlogust. This is my cozy reading corner with my classy gray blanket covering my window. Okay, today I wanted to do a really cozy book video. This is gonna be probably a longer one, probably one you either want to grab a snack for or a fun drink, or you maybe just want to put this in the background where you're like cleaning or doing another activity. That would be my advice. So just know that you've been warned and strap in, I guess is all I would say. So the premise of today's video is going to be going through my entire physical TBR and letting you know what books I have. I will say I have been doing a lot of book shopping lately, which has resulted in a lot of book hauls. So you kind of have probably seen some of my more recent purchases. However, my plan for today is to go through all of them, give you a brief synopsis of them. Brief, I'm gonna try to be brief. And then we're gonna reorganize this shelf because there is not a lick of organization right now. I just pulled these books off because like everything doesn't even fit right now. So like that's part of the problem. And I just need to figure out how I'm gonna fix it. And I just wanted you guys to come with me because I love watching these kinds of videos. So let's dive into my physical to be read, aka TBR shelf list of books. Oh geez. Okay, I'll make 2 pies. Okay, let's dive in. How do we feel about this setup? I don't know how I'm feeling about it, to be honest. Let's take off the slippers. Okay, I have tried to film this before and it did not work out, so I feel like I'm having a little bit of deja vu. I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I think we should just press on nonetheless. So in no particular order, let's start on this side. I know that I've talked about these recently. This is The Hobbit and the 3 Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have been recommended this multiple times. Lisa did say to read these in the fall/winter, so I will be saving these, but I am very excited about them. Which, speaking of Lisa, she actually also made this candle that's burning in here right now. I got it for Christmas last year, and I've always kept it on my reading shelf and only lit it when I'm doing things in here. So that's really fun. First 4 done. Next, we have this book by A.W. Tozer. It actually has 3 of his books in this one in one. The Knowledge of the Holy and The Pursuit of God. I have read both of those. And then God's Pursuit of Man is the last one that's in here, and I have not read that one yet. And A.W. Tozer is a Christian author, if you did not know. Next, I have this book called Emotional Intelligence. I bought this off of Thrift Books as kind of an impulse purchase one time. Honestly, I literally heard about this book from The Bachelor, which is kind of embarrassing, but that is why I bought it. It does have pretty small print and a lot of brown pages, and it's very unmotivating to look at and to read, but maybe one day I'll get to it. Next, I have another nonfiction book called Boundaries, and it says when to say yes, how to say no, to take self-control of your life. That one also, I got this one a really long time ago when it was like kind of viral, or I don't know if that's the right word, maybe it's just people in my circle were all reading it. So I got it from the library, never returned it, and then I did pay the fee. So now I own it. Next, I have a book called Resistance. It's historical fiction, I believe. This is about a Jewish teenager living in Nazi-occupied Poland. I think I got this from a little free library, but I could be wrong, but I do think it sounds really good, especially because I've been to Poland a couple times and I just think it'd be super interesting to read about. Next, I got a book from Mary. This is called The Gymnast, number 3, Nobody's Perfect. We read these books when we were growing up, and it's about different girl gymnasts and things they go through, and I was obsessed. I am so excited to do a little reread of this book and to have it on my shelf. I need a tea break. The next book we have is called Takeoffs and Landings. This is by Margaret Peterson Haddix, and she has a lot of young adult books, and she was one of my favorite authors when I was in like grade school. So I bought a lot of her books quite a while ago, and I've been rereading them. This one I have not gotten to yet, but the thing that I remember from this book is the girl has a brother named Chuck, and they go into an airplane and he throws up, and then she tells her mom, if you take Chuck up, he will up Chuck. Like, why do I remember that line? I don't know, but that does happen in this book. Next, I have a book called Martha's Vineyard. I believe I bought this from the library book sale. It's about an artist who moves home to Martha's Vineyard to help her mom. Honestly, sounds amazing, especially after reading The Painter's Daughter. I just want to also now read books about painters and artists. This next book is called Amish Society. I got this at a Goodwill bookstore, and honestly I just got it because I was fascinated by it. I'm not 100% sure if I actually want to read it, but I just like have skimmed through it and looked from the pages and I thought they were funny. So we'll see if I get to actually like reading the whole thing. Next up, I have a book called The Quiet Little Women, A Christmas Story by Louisa May Alcott, and I am going to save this one specifically for Christmas. I have another Christmas book. This one's called Christmas at Holiday House. This is about a young widowed nurse who goes to take care of someone's grandma, and then she meets a guy. It's sounding like a little bit Hallmarky and Christmassy, and that sounds so perfect. After that, I have a book called The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom. He also wrote Tuesdays with Morrie, which I really enjoyed, and I got this at the library book sale as well. And I got a second book by him called The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I don't really have a synopsis to give you on these, but they look like short little books that are probably good. This is the kind of thing that I want to read on like a Sunday afternoon and have some popcorn. Next, I have The Queen's Gambit. I have not seen the show. All I know is that it's about chess. I also got this at the library book sale, and I feel like I just told you guys about it, so I'm so sorry for repeating myself, but that's what this one is. I also got a book called The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks. So apparently she goes to run this bookshop in this famously bookish community, like town, and they don't want her to have anything sold from this century, and so she's trying to sell books without certain people knowing. She's breaking the book rules. Honestly, could be fun. You know I love a book about a bookstore. Don't tempt me with a good time. Next, I have Writers and Lovers by Lily King. I was influenced by this book because of Haley Pham. I feel like the blurb on the back is very vague, so I actually have no idea what it's about. And you guys also know I like to go into books blind, so I don't know why I'm reading all these synopses now. This one is a little bit embarrassing, but it is the third Twilight book. I have actually read the first two. I've read them both within probably the span of like a week and a half, and they're big books, but they're so easy to read. Anyway, it's the third one. I haven't read it yet. Next, I have a book called The Second Mrs. Darcy. I got this one from Mary, and I really wanted to read it, but I found out it's actually part of a series. So I want to get the rest of the series. I believe this is maybe the second book, so I want to get the other ones before I dive into this one. Lastly, on this pile, I got a book called The Spy and the Traitor. The greatest espionage story of the Cold War. If that doesn't intrigue you, I don't know what will. It's about a guy named Oleg who is rising through the KGB's ranks, but he's also working for M16 or MI6. I know I should probably know what the MI6 or the M16 is, but I don't know what that is. But he's a spy, and it sounds very interesting. This book was recommended to me by a coworker. Now for this stack. This book is called Liturgies for Hope. It's 60 prayers for the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is really cool because it has like the whole thing, and then in the end it has all of the Bible verse references they use to like write the prayer kind of. I love that. I'm really excited to read through this. After I'm done with my Utmost devotional prayer book, I will probably start reading one of these every morning. Next, I feel like I talked about this book very recently. It's called How to Be Like Jesus by Pat Williams, and it was recommended to me by my friend Dolores. Spreading the word about how to be like Jesus. The inside says, some books change the way you think. This book will change the way you live. Imagine how the world would change if everyone were just a little more like Jesus. This book, okay, I can't get the price tag all the way off. This book is called With This Pledge. Lizzie is called to assist upon a military doctor with surgeries that determined life or death. Oh my gosh, a young soldier dies in her arms, and she is gonna try to contact his mother. listen. This book is so up my alley, it's crazy. Maybe I need to read this one next month. I just have so many books that I want to read and not enough time. You guys know this. This next one is called No Angel. This is also from the bookstore in Warsaw. It's about a rich girl, and she's no angel. She falls in love with a boy and orchestrates a plan to marry him. Those whose lives are also changed by Cecilia's actions include Oliver's daunting elder sister, LM, who is not what she appears to be, and the author, Sebastian Brooke, for whom Cecilia makes the most dangerous decision of all. What does that mean? I have no idea, but I am intrigued. Next, I have a book called Someone Like You by Kathy Kelly. Okay, so this one looks like it's about 3 different women in 3 different times of their life. And it says, meeting once a month, despite the distance between their homes, the bond among these new friends deepens, and we come to love Hannah, Emma, and Leonie as old friends. As each woman builds a life, a love, a family, a career, she learns that with friends, all these life blossoms in rich. She learns that with friends like these, life blossoms in rich and often surprising ways. Female friendship, love to see it. Next, we have a book called The Marriage of Opposites. It's based in the 1800s. To try to save her father's business, she does get married off. But then her husband dies, and his handsome, much younger nephew, Frederick, arrives from France to settle the estate. Ooh, well, we'll see what happens there. A Marriage of Opposites. Next, we have this book called Heidi. I did just buy this one. I told you guys about it. The dust cover is very worn. The dust jacket. Oh, dear. But I just love this cover. And I love the brown pages. I just think it's so beautiful. It just smells like old books. And look at the back picture, that's cute too. This book called The Jubilee Trail, I also bought on my recent thrifting trip. And according to Wikipedia, it says it's an American novel written by Gwen Bristow, published in 1950. It follows the adventures of 2 strong women in the 19th century as they travel across the United States to the then Mexican territory of California. Okay, there's a lot going on, but they're traveling, I guess. I don't want to know the whole plot, because there's like a plot summary, but it's very long and I don't want to know it all. Then, I am so dramatic, but this is my first 1,000 pager, and it's called Under the Dome by Stephen King. Wait, where's the excerpt? Did I look this one up too? It has a whole map of the town, so you can kind of know where everything is as you're reading through it. And the next page, it has some, but not all, of those in Chester's Mill on Dome Day. Then it has all these people and what their job positions are. But let me look up this one as well and see what it's about. Okay, so it says, Chester's Mill, Maine, is surrounded by an invisible force field. The people inside must exert themselves to survive. Opposing him are footloose Iraq veteran. Okay, the Amazon thing says, a town is sealed off from the world by an invisible force field, causing planes to crash and cars to explode. A group of citizens, led by an Iraq vet, must find a way to survive and uncover the truth behind the dome. Dun dun dun. Interesting. Yeah, no, I'm super fascinated by this one. Big thick boy. I also have this book called The Beach House Reunion. It says, in this heartwarming novel, 3 generations of the Rutledge family gather together to find the strength, love, and commitment to break destructive family patterns and to forge new bonds that will endure long beyond one summer reunion. This just sounds super easy. Wait, maybe I should add this to my TBR for this month to try to read a summer book, and maybe I'll have to take one of my other books off because I feel like I need to prioritize this one because we're in summer. Next, I have a book called A Piece of the World. As I was saying, I read The Painter's Daughter recently, and oh my gosh, it's made me want to read more books about painters and like artists and stuff. This is what it says. To Christina Olson, To Christina Olson, the entire world was her family's remote farm in the small coastal town of Cushing, Maine. Born in the home her family had lived in for generations and increasingly incapacitated by illness, Christina seemed destined for a small life. Instead, for more than 20 years, she was host and inspiration for the artist Andrew Wyeth, and became the subject of one of the best-known paintings of the 20th century, Christina's World. It's a story about burdens and blessings of family history and how artist and muse can come together and forge a new and timeless legacy. I don't know, should be interesting. This one I also just spoke about. It is Kate Quinn's book called The Rose Code. I literally just said this in the other book, so I feel bad repeating it. This other author said, "The Rose Code is everything you love about an unput-downable novel and more. An unforgettable war story, to be sure, and also a tale of friendship, fortitude, and forgiveness. Utterly satisfying." How do you guys feel about those pages that are like uneven? Does that make sense? I kind of like them. Might be harder to page through, but I like them. I really want to read that too because Mary said she thinks it'll be good. And then we have The Gown, which is a novel of the royal wedding. It says London, 1947. Though the war ended 2 years ago, England's recovery has been difficult, but the nation's spirits are lifted when Buckingham Palace announces the engagement of Princess Elizabeth to Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten. There's some more, and then it says Toronto, 2016. Intrigued by the exquisite set of hand-stitched flowers she has inherited from her late grandmother, Heather Mackenzie discovers that the embroideries match the motifs decorating Queen Elizabeth II's stunning gown from her wedding almost 70 years before. Dun dun dun. Wait, I'm so glad that I caught that. I literally looked up on my camera and it was at almost 24 minutes and it was warning me that it was gonna stop filming, but it was right after I was done. So lovely. Okay. What I want to do now is figure out how I'm going to organize these books on this little shelf behind me. This cute little dresser is an upgrade from the one that I had before. I don't know if you noticed that it does look a little different, but it is something that I inherited from my great aunt Ida Sue, and I love it so much. It fits perfectly into this space, which I love, and it's just so cute, and I love all the little drawers and the little door. I have a big fat book in here and a songbook, in case you were wondering, but I just don't know how to fit all these books on here because there's too many. So I think I'm gonna have some that stack and some that go across. So let's organize together. I think first we need to move the candle. I got this little mug from my friend Kennedy, and the flowers I believe are from Lanita's wedding still. And I also have my cutie little bow coasters from Mary. I have some on my counter as well, but I have a couple in here. So those are the decorations I'm working with. This one I'm gonna move out to my August TBR. Maybe I'll take that on a work trip that I'm going on. I don't have any other organization method, but I'm kind of thinking about just going by color because I don't really have a valid reason, to be honest. But let's move my books and kind of see what colors we're working with to see if that would even go. Cooperate! Okay, this is what we have. I don't know if we can make a color pattern out of this, but let's try, and if it doesn't work, we'll just scrap the idea. Okay, I feel like that kind of works, but now I just have to figure out how this is going to translate there. Okay, these will maybe go here. But I've got kind of brown, gold into red. And then here I have more purple, blue, white kind of thing. I'm kind of obsessed with that, you guys. Right over here on my little blue section, I'm gonna put my doily, and then this candle has the little blue flower on it. Does that look weird? No, I think I like it. Or should I put, I think maybe I should do this. Candle down here, flowers up here. I love it, you guys. Isn't that so cute? These are some things that I had on the wall by my old shelf, and I would love to still put them up in that corner somewhere, but that is something I still have to work on. I just don't feel like pounding holes into the wall tonight. I also spilled my tea. This is real life right here. Are you kidding me? It's my Schnoop drawer. Anyway, with all of that, thank you guys so much for watching today's day of vlogust. I know this is not quite the usual style vlog I do, but I wanted to switch it up. I hope you guys enjoy book content because I do have a lot more ideas and they will probably be coming your way. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you want to and would recommend or not recommend, or if you have books that you think I should add to this, even though I definitely need to be subtracting from it. I've been trying to think if I should put myself onto a ban of not being allowed to buy books. But then I'm like, what if I see a used bookstore? What if I hop into a thrift store? You're gonna tell me that I can't go look through the books? Absolutely not. Like, that sounds so fun. So I literally still have the books that I want to read for August out there on my little shelf. So like, this isn't even gonna go anywhere this month. That's what's kind of depressing. So maybe next month we will do a challenge to see how many books we can read off of our physical TBR in a month. So we'll see how many we can knock out next month. But for now, thanks for listening to me ramble. I actually don't think it took me quite as long as I thought it would, but I really enjoyed it nonetheless. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I don't know how to move on from here. But this other off